Hello, 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 my loves. So today I wanted to come on and talk about forgiveness or forgiving, whichever. If you think that I'm going to sit here and start off by telling you that in order to move on, you need to forgive, forgiving is for you and not the other person, you're wrong. I'm not. Honestly, more importantly than forgiving and more realistic is letting go. You don't have to forgive to let go, but in fact, you do need to let go in order to forgive. I'm not sure where everyone has gotten this whole you can't move on without forgiving thing. That's not true. You can totally disconnect yourself without forgiving somebody. You can totally move on because you have shit to do and or move on because you don't care that much to invest that much thought and time into it and just move on and let go. Now, you can do all of that and still not forgive somebody. Forgiving someone, and depending on what the case may be, depending on the situation or what happened, forgiving someone can be a process that takes years. It can be a process that takes a lifetime. Some things are very tough, very hard to forgive. But not hard to let go. Forgiving is emotional. It's involves a lot of emotions. Letting go doesn't. That's just as simple as I can put it. I hate the fact that you have people that will tell you that, oh, well, you didn't forgive them. You know, that means you haven't let it go. That means you're still stuck on it. That means that you're still thinking about it. No, that doesn't. That just doesn't. That means I didn't forgive them. That's just it. I just didn't forgive them. But did I let it go? A long time ago. I'm over that. We're moving on. I don't understand. I don't like the fact that people push that on you because you have someone that had went through something very traumatic or whatever the case may be, but they're still not in the space to forgive. And people will push it on them that if they don't forgive, they can't move on. If they don't forgive, they're going to be stuck in this space. No, baby. If you don't let go, you're going to be stuck in this space. You can take as much time as you want to forgive because some things take a lot of time to forgive. Forgiveness isn't just okay, well, I forgive. No, it doesn't happen like that. It takes a lot to forgive. It does. It takes a lot of emotions to forgive. But to let go, all it takes is for you to recognize what you feel about this situation or what you feel about this person. Recognize your feelings, sit with them, and then they go. That's how letting go, that's the process of letting go. It's very simple. I can't say the same for forgiveness. I don't believe forgiveness doesn't work like that. You have some that will tell you it does. But unless they've been in a situation that you've been in, how many times you've been in it, and in the manner that it happened to you, they cannot tell you how quick you can forgive. They cannot tell you how easy it is for you to forgive. They can't even tell you the process that you need to go through to forgive. But I will tell you this. if you let go of the situation, it sort of tricks you over time into being able to forgive the situation, letting it go, moving on, not thinking about it, charging ahead with life. Eventually, it will make it that much easier to forgive eventually whenever that time comes. But yeah, forgiving it's not that easy of a thing to do. Now, when it comes to letting go and sitting in those emotions and those feelings, that's much easier to do. I can walk you through that every day and twice on Sunday. I can walk you through it backwards. I recently went through a situation that to me was it wasn't devastating, but a big time betrayal. Big time betrayal. And I was going through my feelings about it, of recognizing, like, what am I feeling about this? What about this? Like, what is the feeling? Let me pinpoint the feelings. And I thought about it, and I recognized the fact that I'm always talking about what I've worked through and what I've overcome and the lessons that I've learned from situations, because I'm big on, okay, this happened to me. What did I learn from this situation? So because I have overcame the situation, and with this particular situation, the lessons that I learned from it was so major and for me groundbreaking, that was what allowed me to move on very quickly. Because initially, boom, you get hit with the disappointment. Oh, that was disappointment. Oh my God, I can't, not surprised, but disappointment, of course. So after recognizing how I felt about it, being disappointed, whatever the case may be, I recognized that I was only looking at the situation from the negative, like the negative aspect of it, which was being disappointed. But I didn't think at the moment to focus more over here on the fact that I did learn all these lessons from the situation, and they weren't little lessons. They were humongous lessons. They were lessons that made me look at relationships and people in life totally different. And those positive things, those lessons that I gained from the situation outweighed this little disappointment over here. Immediately, I was able to release. I let it go. Have I forgiven as of yet? Hell to the no. And it might be a very long time before I do so. But I'm not sitting with it. I'm not letting it run my mind. I'm not letting it occupy my mind. It ain't paying no rent, so it can't live here. Like, that's not happening with me. It's dead. It's gone. But like I said, the forgiveness, it's gonna take a while, and that's okay. I don't like anyone feeling bad or feeling like they've done something wrong or feeling like they're on the right track because they haven't forgiving someone or something. You don't have to do that yet. You don't have to immediately forgive somebody to move on. No, baby, move on. You can move on like yesterday. The forgiveness doesn't have to come yet. That can come later on down the line. I just want people to stop making people feel like they're stuck or they're going to be here because they didn't forgive somebody for something. No, you're not stuck. You don't have to be right here. You can just let go and move on and deal with the forgiveness later. I don't like if that's what you believe, if that's what you were taught, cool. But my situation and your situation ain't the same. What I went through is not the same thing that you went through. I don't have to forgive. Forgiving is not necessary for me to move on. Letting go is, though. So that's what I'm going to do. I will deal with that later. The forgiveness, that's a later date. But right now, I got shit to do. So I'm going to let this go and go about my business. Please stop forcing people to believe that they have to forgive somebody to go and move on. You do not. You do not have to forgive somebody to move on. You can simply let go. But you cannot forgive if you have not already let go. So, you do not have to forgive to let go, but you do have to let go to forgive. And there it is. Stop pushing that narrative on people. And you stop feeling like you're stuck because you haven't forgiven someone, because you do not have to do that right now. But what you do have to do right now, my baby, is to let go and to move on in this moment, because you got shit to do. And this is not something that's urgent. Forgiving to me is not urgent. Some things are lifetime devastating. Some things are 5 years from now devastating. So it may take those lengths of time for you to be able to forgive. So does that mean you stay stuck and stagnant for your lifetime? Do you stay stuck or stagnant for the next 5 years? No, ma'am, no, sir. You let go. You recognize how you feel. You let go. You move on. And eventually, when you get to the point when you are ready emotionally to forgive thing or person, then that's what you do. But do not allow anybody to make you feel like you have to rush and forgive someone, because you do not. In most cases, that's not realistic. Think about it. Someone harms you or harms someone you know. Let's say that person is not here anymore after said person harmed them, and you love that person deeply. Can you honestly say that it'll be easy for you to say, you know what? I forgive them. Not for them, but for me right now, 2 days after it happened. That's not realistic. But do you have to go back to work and continue to take the kids to school? Possibly do classes yourself? Pay the rent? The car note? Right now? You do. Those things don't stop. So right now, you have to let it go, because you still got shit to do. And you can't sit in it, even though you might want to, even though some people do. You got to move on. But do you have to forgive right now? You do not. That, my love, can wait.